Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Football United TV. I'm here with Marlie, and we are here for the transfer zone. But you know what's coming first? One of the best intros. You know it is. Here it goes.
All right. Welcome back, guys. It's very appropriate that this amazing intro done by our friend, Takemu, has a very samba bossa nova feel to it because that's the beat the Prem is dancing to right now. Loads of Brazilians within the Premier League and outside of the Premier League being linked with a move to Premier League clubs. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Perhaps Anthony, my cousin, Bahia fan, might be joining us in a little bit, but as of now, the two of us are going to be taking care of business here. And yeah, plenty to talk about. There's three very famous names that everyone's very aware of, that like pretty much all London clubs are looking at them. Who do you want to start with? Who's the best player in your opinion, my man? Let's start with him.
Well, before you do, can I just ask, are you very proud the fact that there's so much Brazilian hype going on in the Premier League right now? Are you proud of your countrymen, mate?
Absolutely, mate. But in like more than being proud, because it's not me, so it doesn't
Well,
really
no,
matter.
but there's a
But
new generation coming out from Brazil now, isn't there? There seems to be a really a big hype with the players, the youth players that are coming out. We did talk about Endrick the other day. It seems like Brazil, the national team including, are just only going to get better and better, and same with the league.
yeah, it's starting to look like Brazil's going to be able to put up a fight against France within the next couple years. Yeah, it's exciting, mate. And like even though I hate a lot of things about it, the Premier League is my favorite league in the world, and my favorite players are Brazilian always. So it excites me to see so many Brazilian faces joining the Prem. When I see young players linked to a move to Premier League clubs, most importantly to Arsenal, of course, I get really excited. So yeah, happy times for sure. Got to
So
be
just
happy about something, mate.
you got to be, mate, and it's going to be exciting to see Brazil in the Qatar World Cup, mate. It really is. Just quickly before we do start and we do roll into obviously Richarlison first, I was going to ask you, mate. What was? Oh no, sorry, I can't remember what I was going to talk about. Sorry, carry on. I've completely.
It's all good. Right. Let's start with Richarlison. And Matty set up a banner here where like Richarlison ready for Spurs move, but the truth is a lot of clubs are after him. Spurs are seemingly the favorites. I would absolutely hate to see that happening. Richarlison, the pigeon, he's one of my favorite players. He's a former Fluminense player as well. He's always so passionate about the team he represents. Like he's very loved in América Mineiro, the club that revealed him in Fluminense. Not really at Watford because he didn't spend too long in there. But I'm sure that unless the exit is too problematic, I'm sure he's always gonna be loved by Everton fans as well. Um, I don't know. In a in a World Cup year, it's it's always a little more unlikely that a player that has been playing for the national team will move to a club where he's not guaranteed to be a starter week in, week out. That's very much the case for Richarlison at Spurs. Like they have a very, very good front three. They have a very decent backup in Lucas Moura as well. So not sure that's the right move for Richarlison. I would never say that it is. What are your thoughts on that? Like how I know that Spurs would benefit from this hugely. He's a great player, but how do you reckon that would work out for Richarlison?
Well, it's clearly Champions League, isn't it, Marley? That's
Yeah.
something that tempts him over, I think, that way. I think if Spurs didn't have that, he might sort of think, well, maybe I'll stay at Everton, see what Frank's got to do, because they might go for a rebuild. I know the owner of Everton recently come out on social media saying sorry about what's been happening recently. So maybe they'll make a change and maybe he'll be tempted to stay. Who knows? But if he does go to Spurs, it will be good for them. I don't know where he fit in, seeing as Harry Kane is the lone ranger at the top there, number 9, you know what I mean? And Richarlison probably is best in that position as well. He can play out on the wings, I do know that, but whether they'd allow him to play there at Spurs, different thing. Conte is very strict with where he wants his players to play. Yeah. Would he be happy under that regime? Not too sure. But it would be a good move for him, especially with the World Cup coming up, as we said. And I can't remember what the question was. I'm so sorry, mate. I wish I bloody knew because it was so important. But honestly, Richarlison going to Spurs, I don't see why. He'd get more money as well, wouldn't he, surely?
No,
it'd be a bigger deal. Yeah, so I think
he'd make more money. He's, unlike the 2 other players we're going to be talking about, Gabriel Jesus and Rafinha, Richarlison's spot in the national team is pretty much done. Like, unless he gets injured, I doubt that he's not going to be in the World Cup. He's been one of the best Brazilian players for a long time, pretty much since the last World Cup finished. So I don't see him leaving that squad. I'm pretty sure he's going to be a sub. Because even if he doesn't play as a striker, he's usually a left winger. So you have the 2 best players, like the 2 best Spurs players in Son and Harry Kane. I don't see him pushing any of those 2 out. I'm sure he'd be played like pretty much every game coming from the bench, but I don't know. I'd definitely rather see him at Arsenal.
What's the hype about in Brazil, maybe seeing it from your perspective over there and the fact that he's in the Premier League? Like, is it different for you guys out there? Because I know it is different sometimes for you liking players out in Europe, don't you? To how people in Europe look at Brazilian players. Is it different for you from your perspective?
I think he's a very well-liked figure overall. I think people like him, if I'm being honest, I think people like him a little bit more than they should if you're only talking about football. He's a good player. He's not a fantastic player. But he's such a warrior on the pitch, and he embraces the cause so hard as well, always. And as I said, he's still loved by, whenever he comes to Brazil, he goes to a Fluminense game, he goes to an América Mineiro game. So he's just a cool character, mate. And he does bring in, he's always going to score at the very least 10, 12 goals. I'm sure he's not sure I'm actually answering your question, but I think wherever he goes, he's going to be a success. It's just that even at Chelsea, I think he stands a bigger chance of actually starting than he would at Spurs right now, because of the options up front. Lukaku's not doing well.
Well, yeah, he might be obviously going back to Inter Milan. That is in the previous video that we did. If you do want to watch people, but
great video.
Yeah, maybe at Chelsea would be a good. People say that they don't like to use a number 9, but then you look at Drogba, you look at a lot of players in Chelsea's history have been solid number 9s. I think Costa as well. Diego Costa was a solid 9, wasn't he? To be fair, for Chelsea,
absolutely. So, but Richarlison. I know now people think he's mostly a striker, but he's primarily a winger. He's a left winger. That's where he played most of his career.
I see him as a poacher, though. I do see him as someone who I'd like to feed the ball from the wing too, not the reverse way round. But that's just me. That might be not how he feels comfortable. He might feel comfortable on the wing.
I think Richarlison's one of those players that you just say he's an attacker, right? He's good with his head. He's got great physicality. He's very fast. He's very ambidextrous. Ambidextrous. Is that how you say it? He's pretty good with his left foot, even though he's a righty. Ambidextrous. Yeah, there you go. So he's got all the skills needed to be a great striker, a great winger, and he is one. I don't think he's that possible legendary status. He's only 25. He can still get a little better, but he's gonna have a very solid career, and I'm sure he's gonna do well if he goes to Spurs. I just really hope it doesn't happen.
It's not really like he's dropped off since his move from Watford, is it? He's still been a decent player, and he's still getting into the Brazilian national team, isn't he? I think
he's the biggest. He's the most he's the biggest reason why Everton are still in the Premier League. Mm-hmm. He's
Let's see what the comments say, mate. See if anybody's saying anything about it. Solo says, "Big up my people." Eagle Eye Football, big up Rich, and everybody on there, big up to you. Lucas says hi. How are you? We were both doing fine, mate. Richarlison isn't a player I want. He has been linked to Arsenal as well. Is that correct, Marlie?
Yeah.
So from what we're reading, big up to new subscriber Bobby K as well. Big up, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the virtual spud. Luca says what's special about him, but however, Conte's manager who can't get the best out of players. But I think he can.
Yeah, and I think that comment was probably made before I said what I said, because there's a lot special about Richarlison. He's got a lot of fight in him. He's a good finisher with both his right and left foot. He's not an amazing dribbler like you expect Brazilians to be, but he does have a lot of strength and speed, so he can get past players in one-on-one situations.
He can get his feet tied a bit, can't he? Sometimes when he tries dribbling, do you know what I'm saying?
No,
like someone's put an elastic band around his, or a bit of string around his ankles, and sometimes he trips over what he's trying to do. But you can get the intent of what he's trying to do. He's trying to juggle and get through, and I understand that.
His legs work a little faster than his mind every now and then. So yeah, he does get in trouble. But as by the way, one of my favorite guys here, BX Gunner, thank you for being back, my man. Thanks for watching as always. He's a beast. That's the thing. Like, and I don't mean beast as in like great. He's a beast. Like, he doesn't stop fighting. He runs like for his life for 90 minutes as well. He's not a player that usually gets injured either. He's a warrior, mate. That's always good to have. Someone that has the knife between his teeth, you know, when playing football. I see Richarlison as being one of those guys, and I feel like he's quite good in big games as well, dude. Richarlison's a good, like, he's not that transfer that's gonna like save a transfer window, but he's a great acquisition for whoever gets him. Great one.
He is indeed, mate. Big up to Big Gunner as well, and everybody that's in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Smash like, share, subscribe if you really can. We're having a decent chat. We've just done one player, Richarlison. We think he might be leaving to possibly a Premier League club, looking like Spurs potentially, right, Marley? But it could be a host of many clubs, actually, to be fair. It could go to Spain, could go to Barcelona or something, right?
He could. I think there are more big clubs after him. I think PSG is interested.
Well, if they don't get Lewandowski, Barcelona will definitely think, hang on a minute, he might be like the second buy for them, if not.
There you go. Yeah, I think I heard Real Madrid at some point. I don't think that's going to happen, but, you know, PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, like, he's going to go somewhere special for sure. And if he doesn't come to Arsenal, I hope he goes somewhere else. But I think it's looking like he's going to come to London. Well, I don't live in London, so he's going to go to London. And Tottenham's looking like the favorites, but I don't doubt that he's actually going to come to Arsenal or go to Chelsea. I can see that happening. I think he's going to be special wherever he goes. But moving on from that, I mean, if you guys have thoughts on... Okay, just 1 second. DX says he'd take him in a heartbeat. Tottenham are making big moves and fast. Very scary. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, there's our cousin. He can give us his 2 cents on Richarlison. Yeah, cousin, my man, how are you?
Hello, cuz. You right? You right, Matt?
Yeah, you right, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yeah.
What do you make of this potential move, Richarlison, buddy, this Saturday afternoon?
Well, what you see is there, he's ready for Spurs. I think we've been into with him as well. I think Arsenal are sort of keen on him as well. Personally, I'd rather him go to Tottenham than Arsenal. He's not one for not one for me.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. I don't. Nah, no. I think with a striker, I'm a bit too old fashioned. I like goals, and I mean, for a striker to come in and score like 8 goals, maybe 10 a season, and for how much they want for him is not good for me. Don't get me wrong. He's got pace. He has got pace, and he will put up a fight on the pitch. You know, he's sort of like he never gives up. No. You know, he can score goals here and there. You know, sort of thing. I mean, I think when you work out his ratio last season, I think it's something like 1 goal every 5-6 games, maybe something like that.
It's under a terrible Everton.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, right? I mean,
Well, there is that. Yeah, I think. But trouble is, though, you think of it. I know he's under Frank Lampard, but in all fairness, if he does come to Arsenal, he's under Arteta. I don't know how Arteta would. I don't know how he would improve him. I'm not too sure.
Well, that's a really good segue. Thank you for talking about Arteta, because this is potentially another move that might be happening for you guys from Man City. Jesus wants the exit from City. I think he's not going to get his spot now that Haaland's signed, sealed, delivered on a contract.
I just want to make one quick comment. I know I usually slow things down. I'm sorry, Matty. Don't hate me. But, cousin, I get you now wanting him at Arsenal. That's totally fine. There are better options there. If I take my heart out of the equation, there are better players that we can get. But, well, first of all, what Matty said, he played for a horrible side. I think that if he went to a good club and he started most games, he'd probably score like 15 plus goals a season. I'm quite confident of that because he's got the tools. But he loves scoring against us. If you check the record, he's got a few goals against Arsenal. So him going to Spurs is a nightmare for me because Son likes scoring against us. Kane likes scoring against us. Our defense got better, but not that much better. So
no, I know, but it's just not for me. I mean, this guy down there, this is who I want.
Right, let's talk about Jesus then, because we haven't got too long. Let's go on to Gabriel Jesus. What do you think, guys?
Start, cousin. What are your thoughts?
Do you know what? He's been a good player. I think he scored. I think it was 4 goals last season against Watford. I think it was Watford. I got to be honest with you. He doesn't get much game time, does he, at Man City? Despite obviously the games that he's played, to the goals that he scored. I think he scored about 8 or 9 goals last season. But with a player like this, I think that he would come to Arsenal. Yeah, I think he suits their the style of play. He's gonna, if he comes, he'll get first team football anyway. And I think this is goals in this one here. I think you get anywhere between 15 to 18 goals a season out of this guy. And he's got pace, he's got skill, he's got an eye for goal. He's got quite a powerful shot on him. He's just that attacking, that, you know, the way how he runs in sprints. You know, it always reminds you of an Arsenal attack. You know, when we're obviously we got the ball and we're attacking. This is the guy that would suit Arsenal play, the style of play down to the ground. This guy, if it's 45, even if it's 50 million, get him, because is for strikers like this, that's quite cheap. In all fairness, for the prices it is today, so of players, you know. So yeah, I'm all for this one. Jesus, I rate him highly.
What about you, Marley? I think he'd be a great buy for Arsenal. He seemed to fit him as well. I think having Saka and that around him to be able to deliver balls to him.
Absolutely. It makes more sense than Richarlison. I think he would be cheaper. We finished the season playing with Nketiah, and I think Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus have very similar playing styles. It's just that Gabriel Jesus is a huge upgrade on Eddie Nketiah for sure. So it makes more sense. I do feel like Richarlison is a slightly better player than Gabriel Jesus, and the national team shows that. But Gabriel Jesus had an amazing end of the season. Amazing. He scored loads of goals. He doesn't have bad numbers for the amount of minutes he actually plays because, he was never a true starter for City. And because he would be coming from a much bigger club that's been winning most seasons, I feel like people take that as a bigger guarantee that he's going to work out at Arsenal, right? And that makes sense. It's I feel like it would be an easier transition from Eddie Nketiah to Gabriel Jesus than Eddie Nketiah to Richarlison. So I'm all for it, mate. I'm all for it. I feel like it's going to cost a little more than 50. I feel like it would take probably like 55, closer to 60. And I don't know how much money Arsenal actually has to spend. Anthony sent me a message earlier today saying that it's around 100 million, which is not a lot, and you'd be spending over half of it. But yeah, that would excite me. Arsenal likes Gabriels, right? Like we like them.
Does that look to you like he's trying to say, Arteta, give me a call?
Yeah, I was just about to say the same, Matt. Definitely.
That was actually what I meant when I put the celebration picture, because he always celebrates like that. But I just wanted a picture like that. Yeah, give me a call, Edu.
Yeah, give him a call, mate. He wants to transfer. He wants to get out of there. It seems, obviously, because like we said, Haaland's coming in, so definitely.
Julian Alvarez as well from River Plate.
Yeah.
So he'd have a lot of competition.
He's on the phone saying, "Who's this?" He's going, "It's Ten Hag. I don't know who you are, mate. Who? No, sorry, mate. Wrong number."
There's also interest from Chelsea, right? He's another player that's probably going to be going to London. Because Spurs won him as well. Yeah, Tottenham won him too.
Yeah.
But as I said before, unlike Richarlison, he's not guaranteed to be in the World Cup. I think he's going to go there, but he's not guaranteed whatsoever. So he needs to go to a club where he's going to be starting most games. That could be the case at Chelsea. There's no guarantees. I doubt that it would be the case at Tottenham, because I don't see him benching Son or Kane.
But it will be at Arsenal.
It would be at Arsenal, As of now, if he comes, he's a guaranteed starter. He's better than Gabriel Martinelli as well. Gabriel Martinelli is going to be better than him at some point, but right now, Gabriel Jesus is the better player. So even if we bring in a striker, he'd probably start at left wing.
So let us know, everybody, in the comments, whether you think that is the right move for Gabriel Jesus. We'll read them out during the next player that we're going to be talking about. We are talking about another big one from the Premier League, guys. Rafinha may be moving to somewhere else in the Premier League, apparently, as well, right? This you said as well, Marley, this might be another London move. Or do you think it'll be more near where he lives right now in the Northwest?
I see Rafinha either going to a London club or going to Barcelona, because they've been interested in him in a while. If there is legitimate interest from Barcelona, he's going to go there. Brazilian players always dream of playing at Barcelona or Real Madrid. That's just a fact. It's been the case for a long time. I know a lot of players love the Premier League, but if one of those two ring, that's where they're going. So I don't think Chelsea, Tottenham, or Arsenal could actually put up a fight again. I actually haven't seen him being linked with Chelsea, but I know that Spurs and Arsenal want him. He'd be amazing for Arsenal. Like, I'd be so happy with that. Great right winger. He's most likely going to be in the World Cup for Brazil as well. Has been doing well at Leeds for 2-3 seasons now. He was good at Rennes before that too. How'd you take that one, Anthony?
Well, this one, he's like what you said, because he's a right winger. But in all fairness, we have got Saka on the right. But if Saka's out injured, we haven't really got like a replacement for him.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think he will obviously stay in the Premier League. I think he'll go to Man United. And even though they've got Sancho on the right, I think this guy will go to, I think he will. I think he'll go to Man United. I know Matt's excited about this. But I feel
Man United, Anthony. This would be great for Man United. I do think he's that sort of player that we do need. He's got a lot of energy. You see the way he plays as well for Leeds. It's fantastic. I mean, the fans love him at Leeds as well, to be fair. He is kind of a hero, I guess. He's a part of that sort of build for them with Bielsa, wasn't he? You know,
but he's one of these players who's got but I look at his charisma on the pitch. You know, is brilliant. Is absolutely excellent. Obviously, he's not going to stay at Leeds because a player like that has got to play for a better team and win trophies, even if it means Carabao Cup, FA Cup, or maybe getting into the Europa League to play Europe. The next season, the following season, or maybe this season for Man United. Yeah. So I feel he's going to be the next best thing for Man United. Maybe a tiny slice, but
I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm hungry.
But do you know what? I think of this one, and I don't think we'll get him. It'd be Man United, but I think it'd be on the last day of the transfer window when he goes. It'd be the last. I know, but it's only 4
Precise
games,
prediction.
isn't it? It's only 4 games into the season, but I'd rather sign him that way and then not sign him at all. So, do you know what I'm saying? So, I think it'd be you're looking at Man United. He'd be at Old Trafford.
Well, I'm glad you said about that because we are doing a United across the globe soon, and we are going to delve into that. We was going to talk about it today, but I wanted to say to Marlie that I felt like it'd be good to leave it so I can put all the information on. But we are going to talk about the Man United situation, the fact that they've had so many players leaving this season and who's going to be replaced. And do you know what, actually, mate? I agree with you, Anthony. I'm quite scared that Man United are going to probably buy very late. And that's the problem with this one, Rafinha. I don't think if we can't get this over, he's going to be going somewhere else before the last day. Don't you think?
Yeah,
no one else.
I think so too. I think so too. If I were him, I wouldn't come to Arsenal because unlike the other 2 players we mentioned, he's a right winger. He doesn't really play anywhere else. I don't think he's as good good in the left, and I've never seen him playing up front. So he wouldn't start over Saka. Saka's a better player than Rafinha. So United, he actually stands a good chance because Sancho can play on the left. You have Ronaldo up front. That's a very scary front 3. It'd be a good move for him to go to Newcastle. I don't know if that's a rumor whatsoever, but that's a team where he'd start, and that's a team that's most likely going to be doing good things in the future. He'd showcase his talent enough to play in the national team, but I agree. Well, he didn't say he's probably going to go there, but Bobby K did say Barca apparently made contact with his reps, and if that happens, he's going there. He's going there for sure. Like he'd be playing in the position that Messi played.
He likes the Premier League too much.
I agree. Why do you think that, Anthony?
Well, it's just the way he is, you know, the way he plays on the pitch. He's playing in as far as I'm concerned, he's playing in the fastest league in the world. So, you know, and he's good at it. He's that to the English game quite quick, you know. He's got good pace, he's got good skill, he's got goals in him as well. I feel if he actually plays for a team like Man United, he will become a better player, obviously. You know, and then he'd be playing in Europe as well. He'd be playing against some of the greats, you know, against other players in top teams. I think this is what he really wants, this guy. So, you know, I would like him to come to Arsenal. I can't see it, but I'd like to, if he got to go to Man United to watch him in the Premier League, I'm all for that.
Well, I agree with that. You think he should be going to Man United. Where do you think he should be going? Where did you say, Marlie?
I mean, I think it'd be a great move for him to go to United for sure. I think it's a great move. Ten Hag, I do feel like he's an overhyped manager because he only like people talk about him after watching him in the Champions League. That's all. But he's found a lot of success with wingers, right? Like how many good wingers were revealed by him at his time at Ajax. So it's I'd be excited to go to United if I were him. But if Barcelona rings and he can play in the same position that Messi played for such a long time, I'm sure he's gonna go there. I'm sure. By the way, Bobby K says I think he's talking about Gabriel Jesus there. He seems to think Gabriel Jesus is a better player than Richarlison, like Anthony. I disagree. And I do not hope that he goes to Spurs. I sure as hell don't want Gabriel Jesus going there. It wouldn't make any sense. I really don't think he'd go to Spurs.
No, he won't. No, because he won't get first team football. He won't be picked over the likes of Harry Kane and Son. He wants to be playing first team football. But in all fairness, he'll be getting that at Arsenal. You know, there's no ifs or buts about it. Just Eddie Nketiah, please come on, give me a break.
Yeah, no.
Well, we're gonna start. Let's move on to another one that's gone from Sevilla to Villa. That is Diego Carlos. Tell us a little bit about this, mate. You know a lot about this guy from your home country, Marlie, mate. Start us off, kick us off, mate. How good is he? I hear lots of good things about him, but I haven't seen him.
Yeah, Diego Carlos is a very good defender. It's not like I'm a huge follower of his. Like I don't actually know where he started his career. But I know that he did really well at Nantes when he played in France for a long time there. Let's see. Let's take a look at his actual career. He started, he's a São Paulo Academy player.
Yeah.
never actually played for them, but he's a São Paulo Academy player. His career actually got started in Portugal. He played for Porto's B side. He went to Estoril. Then at Nantes, he started like shining a little bit. He played there for 3 seasons. But in Sevilla, he started being linked with a lot of Premier League clubs constantly. Anthony definitely remembers him being linked with Arsenal. I'm pretty sure he was linked with Newcastle last season. I think he's been linked with Leicester in the past as well. Like, he's a player that was going to come to the Premier League at some point. Absolutely. And I mean, no disrespect to Villa. They have a really exciting project. Their team is getting better and better. But I'm sure he's a bit frustrated because, like, a slightly superior tier of clubs was looking at him last season, and he ended up going to Villa. But I'm sure he's going to do well. I think Matty said I know a lot about him because I remember, like, one of the funniest red cards I've ever seen in my life happened when he played for Nantes. When he was defending his side against a counterattack, he didn't see the ref. That was like, he's a big bloke and the ref was a small guy, so he didn't see the ref, and he ran over the ref accidentally. The ref fell, kicked him out of spite, and then gave him a red card. That was before VAR.
He got abused before he went off the field, yeah?
I'm sure that if you type out Diego Carlos funny red card, that's gonna come out. I don't remember who he was playing for, but he was playing for Nantes. And but he's a good defender. Never broke into the national team at a constant basis. I don't think he's going to be in the World Cup, but he's a very strong physical defender. I don't remember if he's right-sided or left-sided. Don't quite recall that, but he had a very successful spell at Sevilla, for sure. And I'm sure he's going to improve Villa's defense.
They didn't do too bad, actually, as well in the Europa League. I mean, they got beat by West Ham. What do you make of him, Anthony? Do you think this is a good sign-in for Steven Gerrard and Aston Villa? Because they had a bit of a miserable campaign towards the end of the season, didn't they? So they kind of need to get more decent players in to help gel.
Yeah. To be honest with you, it's like what Kurt said. He was on Arsenal's radar a while ago as well. He is I like him. I think he's a good defender. He plays on the right side. To be honest with you, I can understand why Villa's done this, because they're adding depth to their squad. That's what Villa's doing at the minute. So we know what it's like when players gets injured and how long they're out for. You still got a good backup player to fit that role, if you like. This is what frustrates me, is you see players like this going to Aston Villa, which is a good signing for them. As I'm talking as an Arsenal point of view and also a Man United point of view, it's like we haven't signed anybody yet. Do you know what I mean, RD? It's frustrating.
You feel like you're missing out a little bit on these decent players that are coming in for other clubs around you.
It gets frustrating, because more so being an Arsenal fan, because you're like, players are, you read all this, that Arsenal's interested in this player and that player, and then when we decide to sign a player, all these players are going left, right, they're going here, they're going there, and you're thinking, what the heck, why haven't Arsenal signed him? He's a good player, he'll fit their role, their style of play, and all this and that. But this is definitely a good signing for Aston Villa. Honestly, it is. He's good. He's a strong defender. Because I tell you that as well. He's good. He gets stuck in. He's not bad in the air as well. He can win balls in the air as well. He's got that. What can I say in defence? He's got that sort of Gary Neville in defence. I think.
Wow.
He's a bit like that sort of thing. So.
Just pass the time to Beckham. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah. So he is a very good player. And I think Villa's got a good deal there, Villa.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd take him at Arsenal for sure. I think he's I like Ben White, unlike Cousin. I like him, and I do think Saliba is going to be a world beater very soon.
Jesus.
So it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for us to get him right now because he's a right-sided center back, but he's a good defender. I'm sure he can play on the left side of defense as well. Matty's probably gonna remember him from the last final Man United were on because he was very prominent in that game against Sevilla that you guys lost in the Europa League a couple years ago.
In the final,
Yeah.
Weren't you guys beat by Sevilla?
Villarreal.
I'll
never forget that. Yeah.
I think I'm talking about the semifinals. No, last season you guys got beat by Villarreal, right?
Yes.
The season before.
We never made a final with Sevilla. But we might have been knocked out. Sorry, I can't remember them ones. I only remember finals.
For some reason, I placed United there, but whoever faced
Thanks for bringing
Sevilla,
back that memory. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed that.
Whoever played Sevilla the last time they the last time they played the Europa League final is definitely going to remember Diego Carlos because I think he made a huge mistake that cost Sevilla a goal, but he also scored an amazing goal or gave an amazing assist. I think it was a bicycle kick. I don't quite remember right now, but he was a big figure in that game. Like he messed up, then he saved his game afterwards.
So we think this is a good deal for Aston Villa. Yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I think it's a missed chance for a lot of good clubs. I feel like Newcastle would have benefited from his acquisition greatly. I think there are clubs with bigger ambitions than Aston Villa that could be getting him. Even United, he'd probably be starting for United. But
trouble is though, everybody's on about Newcastle, and I understand if you're a player, you want to play first team football, and depending on obviously what wages you're offered, and like goal bonuses and things like this and that, which Newcastle can afford. But are they going to attract like class? When I say class players, are they going to attract these class players, and knowing that their manager is Eddie Howe? Don't get me wrong, he's a good manager, but you see where I'm coming from? It's like class players, are they going to want to go to Arsenal and go, oh well, I'm going to work under Arteta, or you go down the road and you play for Conte, who is an elite manager. I think the manager does help when he's in charge of the football team. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think Newcastle will get a few good players. I don't think they'll get world class players.
No, they might not. We'll look into that. We got to talk about João Pedro now.
Well, no, I think you're skipping one because we're talking about like more solid stuff right now, and this one's a bigger one because he's actually.
This is the boy of the season.
What's this one, mate? What's this? Because I need to know what's going on.
Yeah, I'll let Cousin tell you about this because I think we already talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah, no, but Anthony and I had a pretty big conversation about Marquinhos. Marquinhos is a São Paulo player that Arsenal the deal's done, right? Like he's coming for 3 million pounds. Yeah. Marquinhos, okay. He's an interesting one. I don't feel like Arsenal's bringing him to be doing anything this season. At the very least, they're loaning him out for him to be playing for us in the future. I could see the possibility that Arsenal only did this to make money in the future because what happens is São Paulo had a big contract with Marquinhos, but they realized that was actually illegal. Like you can't tie up a young player to such a long contract in Brazil. I think it's the Pelé law. Whenever I'm next with Johnny, I'll ask him about that a little better because he's got like better knowledge on that stuff. But he's São Paulo would probably lose him for free in the end of the season. So Arsenal was able to do a very low ball offer because even though he's not a guaranteed starter for São Paulo, he doesn't play week in, week out. He is an exciting prospect. He's 19. He's very fast. And he'd probably be costing any club like 10, 12 million in like normal situations. And Arsenal was able to get him for 3.
He's got him for 3.
No, 3 million. 3 million.
What do you think, Anthony?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't really know nothing much about this player. This is why I would messaging, because I knew he signed for 3 million. But I think it's like what he said. I think Arsenal they've got him in for 3 million. I think they're playing him in a few games and most probably loan him out. But this is a buy that they're making money on. Whether they want to sell him for about 12, 15 million, like 1 or 2 seasons down the line. This is like an Arsene Wenger type of deal in it, when what Wenger used to do at Arsenal. So I think he's going to be one of those. But listen, I mean, if he plays and he plays really well and he puts 100% in a game, I'm all up for that. I mean, fair play to him. But it's like what he said at the minute. I'll have to be what Charlie says. I think he's there just for a money thing.
Yeah, it's I mean, he's probably going to be playing in the preseason friendlies, right? Like I can only imagine he's going to be getting a couple of minutes there. You never know. Like Martinelli wasn't supposed to be playing for Arsenal in his first season. The plan was to loan him out. If he impresses, he impresses. It's just that he wasn't starting for São Paulo. He's been an option coming from the bench. And São Paulo is a huge, massive club in Brazil. They're not doing too well. So that tells me that he's probably not ready to be starting for Arsenal or getting minutes at Arsenal, right? Yeah. So I think he's going to be loaned out. If it goes wrong, it's probably going to be a Joe Campbell situation where he's going to be here for a long time and he's going to play like 3 games. But I hope that Arsenal can, at the very least, loan him out where he's going to be getting a lot of minutes, where he's going to be showing his value. We can sell him for like a 400% profit, which would be good. I think that's what's going to happen. I honestly feel like that's what's going to happen. But if he proves me wrong, I'm going to be very happy. As I told Anthony, São Paulo has something very special about their academy players because they're usually late bloomers. Like the only successful, like right away, like that left São Paulo in a big hype was Lucas Moura when he went to PSG. Now he's at Tottenham. He does well in there as well. I think he's the biggest sale São Paulo ever made, and one of the biggest sales in the history of Brazil. But Casemiro's a São Paulo academy player. He was a bench player when he was sold to Real Madrid. He was not doing well whatsoever. He was having a horrible season. He went to Real Madrid. He was loaned out to Porto, started playing well right away, and he's arguably the most successful DM in the 21st century. The numbers will tell you that. So, like there, Anthony's a São Paulo academy player too. When he left, he was good, but he wasn't like massive. As I just showed you, Diego Carlos didn't even play a minute for São Paulo. Now he's at Villa as a really good center back that had a good career in Spain. So you never know. You never know. They do have something really special in that youth setup. So maybe he's going to shut me up and he's going to be getting some minutes this season and he's going to be the next Gabriel Martinelli. He's only 19. So
brilliant.
Fast. He can play all across the front three, but he doesn't even have 25 professional games to his record yet. So let's wait and see.
Let's move on then, because I wanted to talk about João Pedro. The reason because he's one of the other players that we talked about that's still in the Premier League. Guys, what do you make of this? That he could be potentially maybe staying in the Premier League, but I hear there's links from different countries, not just Spain either. I'm hearing Italy are linked with him as well. AC Milan, Inter Milan. What do you make of this, guys? Do you think he should stay in the Premier League? He's not going to be playing. If he stays with Watford, he's not going to, is he? Because they're in the Championship now.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, Fluminense is another. João Pedro is another one of those players that I have a huge bias because he's a Fluminense academy player. I remember the stream we did. You did with the Watford guys. Really good stream. If you guys want to go back and watch it. But I asked about João Pedro, and they're excited about him. They seem to think he's going to have a bigger career than a better career than Richarlison. If he does, job well done, because Richarlison's a Brazilian national team player. I don't think João Pedro has a lot of goals to his name yet. I think most clubs are looking at him as one for the future that's going to start as a sub. He's only he's 20, I think. Yeah, he's 20 years old, turns 21 in September. He's playing he's been playing well at Watford. Nothing too impressive, but he's been playing well. He can play the left wing. He can play as a striker. He's originally a striker. He's got some nice goals to his name back in his Fluminense game, in Fluminense days. If it doesn't cost too much money, and I don't think he would, because he cost Watford like 7 million. So if he, I think it was 7 million reais. So we're talking about like 2 million, 1.5 million pounds. I'll look into that.
They're going to make money off of him, basically, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, they're definitely going to make money off of him. Now in the championship, like I don't see them refusing a 20 million offer, and that's a fine price for João Pedro. He's not someone for an Arsenal to get, because Arsenal needs answers right now. But if Liverpool's looking at him as a bench option, if Tottenham is looking at him as a bench option, I feel like he's a fine choice. I don't think he was linked with Tottenham. Okay, I did see links with Liverpool a couple months ago, but he's an exciting Brazilian player, and I think he's going to go somewhere bigger than Watford. That's all there is to it. I don't think there's strong rumors anywhere.
Yeah, he's not staying in the Championship, is he, Anthony? Right?
No, he ain't going to stay in the Championship. The way I look at this one, I know he's not English, but if you think of where I'm coming from with this now, I see this one as like a Tammy Abraham. Obviously, he played in the Premier League. If he goes to Italy, he will improve his game. He'll get game time under his belt.
Yeah,
He'll score a few more goals. I mean, look at what Tammy Abraham has done with Roma. I mean, he's got them 20 odd goals this season. So I don't think he scored that many, because obviously, I know his age and he's still learning the game at 20. But I'll be honest with you, I think he's the sort of player, if he does go to Italy, somewhere like maybe like a Sampdoria or somewhere like that, I think he'll most probably score around. Maybe like they're still in Serie A, aren't they? Sampdoria, they're like a middle team. I keep up every now and then with Serie A, but I think somewhat like that. A team like that, he is scoring around about anywhere between 12, maybe if he's lucky, 15 goals a season in that sort of area. I mean, the Italian league is not like the league as we know it years ago. I mean, to me, it's got a little bit slower, and I think that is suiting down to the ground. Start off slow, get some game time, get some goals under his belt, and then these bigger teams will be in after him soon, if he gets first team football.
We are going to have to quickly move on, Marley, because we've only got 13 minutes left, unfortunately, mate. We got two left. And we're going to go for what? Do you want Danilo first?
Yeah, I mean, it's the next two, like, we have close to nothing to talk about, right? It's just that we were on this Brazilian theme, and there are two very exciting Brazilian players playing in Brazil that have been linked with English clubs in the past, and I don't doubt that it will happen this season or the next. I think we're going to see them. Well, Danilo, I think we're going to see him in the Premier League soon. André, he could go somewhere else in Europe. But let's start with Danilo. He's the most famous of the two. He's already played a couple of games in the national team, which is really impressive. He's only young. He's what? I think he turned 21 in April. He's actually a Vitória Academy player. Vitória is Bahia's biggest rival, Anthony. So if you didn't know that, now you do.
Now I know.
Yeah, but he went to Palmeiras when he was even younger than he is now, a couple years ago. He's been playing so well. He's probably the best DM and like center mid, defensive mid in Brazil. At a regular basis is probably the best one. He's so good going forward for the position he plays. He's a lefty. He's got a couple of goals to his name already. He's a brilliant defender as well. Like, he's annoying. You can see that he's annoying to play against. He'd be a great one. When he was linked with Arsenal, my eyes shined. I'm pretty sure the links cooled down because Arsenal's probably looking at someone more for the now, right? Like, we're not looking for someone for the future. I don't know if there's any links to any other clubs in England. Maybe you guys know of something, but he'd be great wherever he went. Like I could see him being as good as Bruno Guimarães, and you can see what Bruno Guimarães is doing at Newcastle right now.
Yeah.
Um, I
You want
think I think go
Bruno,
ahead.
yeah, he's doing great, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
I
phenomenal.
think he's been looked at by quite a lot of people, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to go anywhere now because he's only been there for 6 months. They spend a lot of money and they have a lot of money, more than anyone else. So I don't see him leaving, but he would
Money
have been a
talks.
great, yeah, he would have been a great
Hmm.
buy for any club, mate. I honestly feel like for like in his style, in his position, what he does, he's the best in the world, mate. He's like 25. He's scoring a lot of goals now for Newcastle. That's not something that actually happened at Lyon. He's he's a brilliant midfielder.
Yeah, he
Brilliant.
is. Got a lot of
Uh,
passion in him as well.
yeah,
What you wanted to talk a bit about Andre as well, just to finish it off, because we have only got 10 minutes left. Thank
yeah.
you everybody for steady watching the stream as well. There's been a lot of you coming in and out. Thank you so much. Smash the like, share, subscribe if you can. We got 5 minutes left. Please, Marley, educate me and Anthony on this next player from Fluminense, your teammate.
All right, André. So he's by far Fluminense's best player. Fluminense did just sell someone to Real Betis. That's Luis Henrique. I mentioned him last stream as well, and he was our best attacking player. But André is a DM. He can play as a number 8, but I feel like his best position is at a number six or a hybrid of the two. When I showed him to Caio compared him to Kovacic. He feels like they have similar playing styles. He's so impressive, mate. Andres 21. He's he's already he's actually 20. He's about to turn 21. But he's always been the captain of his youth sides. He can't be a captain of Fluminense because we have so many old players, but he's one of the leaders of the team. He's our best player. This guy has an average of over 90% passing accuracy at 20 years old. So he's just so responsible. His ball control like is absolutely phenomenal for his age. I'm sure he's gonna have a great career as well. You're talking about like it's not just because I'm a Fluminense fan that I mention Fluminense players so often. We do have one of the best youth setups in the world. Marcelo, Thiago Silva, Richarlison passed by us. So it's always interesting to look at our young players, and this guy's the best of the bunch right now. He's been linked with Liverpool, two Italian clubs. I think Udinese was one of them. I don't remember the other one, and Barcelona. I don't think he's going to go to one of those big clubs quite just yet. He'd already be a good bench option for a Premier League club for sure. But I'm sure I think he's going to go somewhere where he's actually going to be able to play football because he could be knocking on the door of the national team in like 2 years' time. He's a really talented player. Look
I
it
think
up.
he's quick and
It's
fast as well. I don't think he's tall, is he? He's not that. He's not that tall,
no,
is he?
no,
Because I
no,
was going to
no.
say, because on that picture, it looked like those shorts looks like they're 3/4 down his legs, like sort of thing.
Look
You
at
know
that.
what I mean? Like
Look at that
3/4 length.
muscle. Look at that muscle on the left-hand side. Gee.
No, he's
Yeah,
a
I
strong,
know. Yeah,
he's a strong
yeah,
bloke. Yeah,
Look at
he's a
that.
yeah.
That's
strong
muscle
bloke.
coming out. He's not carrying a gun there.
No,
Mate, he's got like it's very rare to see him lose the ball, and whenever he loses possession, like 90% of the time, he's gonna fix it. He's gonna get a foul every now and then when he does that, but he hates losing the ball. And
yeah,
yeah, mate, I just feel I'm passionate about this one. He's one of my favorite
yeah,
players. He's my favorite player at Fluminense right now. Whoever gets
yeah,
him, job well done. He's going places. I
yeah,
think he's gonna be playing for Brazil very soon, mate. He's so mature for his age, and he's only gonna get better. He's playing for the very first time for an actual like attacking manager because Fluminense recently we've only had very defensive managers. Now we're actually getting to see him playing more attacking football, but he does love scoring against Flamengo, which shows us that he's actually a big game player because Fluminense's biggest game is against Flamengo, our biggest rivals, because it's not like we actually play finals anymore. So yeah, man, he's an exciting player. And if Liverpool actually get him, having Fabinho and André, screw you, Liverpool. Screw you.
Unfair, isn't it? Unfair, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it, everybody. We are going to finish it off there. Thank you, everybody, in the comments as well. We got Big Gunner 81. We got Bobby K. We got Luca AFC. We've got Eagle Eye Football. We got Solo in the house as well. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe, share if you haven't already. And we'll go over to Anthony now. Where can we find you, mate? Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Okay, that's fine. You can find me on my socials, which is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. My name is Anthony Herbert. You can find me on Dugout Daily, S-Feetly TV, Leicester Till I Die, and also this one here, Football United TV. If you haven't liked and subscribed, make sure you do. There's one thing I want to say, Matt. Cuz is my cuz from Brazil. Now that I found out that he's actually a Ben White fan, he's my ex-cousin now. So he's ruined that.
Yeah, he's your ex-cousin. I'm not sure you're allowed to do that legally, but
No.
there's only one way of doing it. I'm sure you ain't going to be that naughty and mean to poor Marley.
No.
Well, thank you for coming on, Anthony.
He's out the family. He's out the family. He's gone.
Yeah. You sound like the Godfather now, you know. Steady on. Marley, mate, of course, you know, where can we find you, bro? Pretty much here, but where else, man? Because you do other stuff too.
This is home for me. You find me very frequently at Steven's channel as well as Feetly TV. And well, this here's my Twitter, here's my Instagram. If you want to follow me, do so. I'll follow you back. That's all. Do check out all the content we have at Football United TV. Last stream was a great one with Amandi and Sven. That was really, really fun. And if you haven't watched it yet, I'm sure you'll enjoy it because most of the stuff we said there are still very relevant. So yeah, check it out when you're done with this one.
Yes, and I'll be on Football versus Cancer. That's Talk MU's channel at around about quarter past.
Best guy on earth,
I think. So it'll be a live watch along for Italy versus England if you want to come and check that out. And I should be back tomorrow with Maisie at midday for an Introduce Yourself show. We're talking about her channel and why she supports Man United. And we'll be back Monday, I think, for another transfer show. But until then, everybody, stay classy, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you again soon. Ta-ra!
Ciao.
Ciao.